Hi guys, James from AR Equipment. These are our single ram hydraulic grabs. We've been running these since 2015 when I originally designed them, and they start from the 1.7 class right through to the 45 tonne class, and they're in stock, so you can get them whenever you need. We have a dealer network around the country that also stocks these, so you can generally get them in most states. The difference between our particular grabs and a lot of the cheaper copies of our grabs that are out in the market now is these are built to an OEM spec. They run a 5,000 PSI rated cylinder, which is probably one of the key differences between ours and cheaper knockoffs. They run a 4,000 PSI or 25 MPa, which is a little under 4,000. Trouble with that is that machines, especially from 12 tonne class and up, or even 8 tonne started a little higher than 4,000 in some models, is that cylinder is then underrated for the pressure of the machine. So they trend to, I've seen cheaper ones down in Victoria where they try and compensate them with relief valves, but generally the seals will end up failing quite prematurely. We've had a few of them sent in here where we've tried to help people out that have bought a cheaper grab, but by the time you build a new piston that's going to handle the rating, you might as well replace the cylinder. And generally when they fail, they rip the side wall out of the cylinder and create metal anyway, so they're generally a write-off. So that is probably one of the key differences that we have, because we build to OEMs. We sell to Hitachi, we sell to All Class, we sell to Clark Equipment, RDO. A lot of guys around the country buy these grabs. Because we've got them at a really good price point for the quality level that they are, and that is the difference. So you can find online a cheaper version of an old style of this grab before we change the tip angles, before we put the bigger cylinders in there, that are made from a Q345 instead of an NM400 or a Q460 structural. They'll tell you all kinds of things, like they're made out of hard ox and all this kind of stuff, but you can rest assured that's a fallacy for one, because anything made in China that's done with hard ox is taxed like crazy. The Chinese government tax hard ox steels significantly. That's why we use NM400s and NM500 plates. They're 90% as good and still allow us to build a grab for a fair price. So you'll pay maybe 10% more for our grabs. We could build them for half the price if we wanted to make a cheap grab, but that's why those guys sort of sit themselves just under our pricing. They're probably making more margin than us, because you can certainly cheapen things up when you want to, but we've got a standard that we want to keep here. You know, I come from this industry. I had a fleet of my own machines for many years, up to the 35 tonne class, so I know what it's like to have something that's rubbish, and that's not our ethos. We want to build good quality gear, so it's that little bit extra. It might be 10%, but just think about when you're sitting there one day with a cylinder that's blown apart and your machine full of metal. You don't want that in your life, and it's going to cost you a whole lot more than the 300 bucks you saved on a 5 tonne grab. So make that good decision, and look, rest assured that we will look after it afterwards too, because we keep cylinders in stock, we keep all the spare parts in stock for them, bushers, pins, and of course we have a full machine workshop here too, so we can make modifications and adjustments and customisations here in Australia. Thanks for watching.